Hey everybody, Lily released a new video! She has given me permission to make new content about her, which I do appreciate because Lily's video is the most viewed one in my channel by far. So, you know how it is. I'm going to milk that cow. I'm going to milk it dry. Her video was actually about harassment and accusation of abuse, and I don't want to get into it because I'm not going to put my hands in the fire for people that I don't know. So who is right and who is wrong in the story? Is Lily lying? Is the other people lying? I don't know. I don't want to know, and I'm mad at people that do know. Why am I making this video? Well, there were some things in that video that caught my attention and I want to talk about it because it seems that she is using the harassment that she's receiving on a personal level to try to excuse her professional flaws.
And so now they've devolved into screenshotting every single dumb opinion I've ever had and picking it apart, looking for more ways to psychoanalyze me.
And you know, man, I get it. The internet is a very dangerous place, especially for a transgender, bisexual woman that is married to another girl. And you know, it takes a toll on you, it's fine. But she did say in her video that her life is great, that she doesn't work that much.
I live a pretty comfortable life. I work 4 days a week, I have a decent apartment that isn't overpriced, I have a beautiful wife who I adore and who adores me in turn to the point that she cried when I brought her a birthday cake, the big sap. I live in a real country and not whatever America's supposed to be, and my job doesn't ask much of me outside of constantly coming up with new opinions to share and dealing with YouTube's bullshit.
So there isn't really that much of an excuse for her not doing a good job now, is it? It's so weird to see a YouTuber trying to say that her life is great because usually YouTubers are like, well, I'm under so much pressure, they've been going through some personal issues so we can excuse their fuck-ups, but she's like, well, my life is absolutely amazing and I work so little. That just gives me even more of a moral ground for me to drop the hammer on you, doesn't it? What I'm talking about specifically is a little part in her video where she says,
Or an old shitpost thread where I gave comically bad writing advice like all sex scenes need a harmonica solo and if at first you don't succeed, give up and do something else.
It sounds really weird if you know what she's talking about. You see, a while ago Lily Orchard made a thread on Twitter about 100 writing advice tips. It was critically panned, everyone was mocking it. I was still a fan of hers when I saw that thread. I was like, and it kind of feels like she's trying to rewrite history in a way. That shit about sex with a harmonica, I don't even know what that was about. But then I googled it and it turns out that her Twitter account was deleted and she made another one. And in that other account she made a new writing tips thread, but it was full of jokes. And she's trying to pretend that all the criticism was because of that thread, it feels like. But no, it was for another thread that was very serious. And even if people are mocking her joking thread, it is because she's trying so hard to sweep it under the carpet, you know? It's actually kind of pathetic. I have, done a little bit of research on her and I don't think she has admitted any kind of wrongdoings with her original thread. She was like, oh, I can't believe people are getting so mad about these tips, and then she deleted it. She's like, wow, it was just a joke. I don't know why people are so upset about this. But when you actually read the thread, which has been archived extensively by the internet, then you find things like, if your only black character is a volatile, hyper-angry brute, you're a huge turd. Okay, where's the punchline? Is it supposed to be a joke? Am I not supposed to take this seriously? Am I supposed to write black characters as volatile, hyper-angry brutes? What is happening here? The Little Mermaid and Cinderella are more feminist than Beauty and the Beast. I can see this being brushed off as a joke because this isn't writing advice, but where's the punchline? Where's the joke? Is she trying to say that Beauty and the Beast is more feminist than The Little Mermaid and Cinderella? I don't know, I really don't know. There is advice here that is so bad that could actually be constructed as a joke, but I don't know, it doesn't feel clear. the intent is not clear and the joke is not funny. What is this video really about? Am I going to do a breakdown of these writing tips? I thought about doing that. I actually even filmed it, but it was actually kind of boring because I was just going through this list and going, this one good, this one bad, this one bad, this one bad, this one, and it was kind of boring. And the truth is that fucking up is natural and normal, and it's not like she dropped the N-word or anything. This entire thing could have been forgotten about if we just admitted that she fucked up. Like, yeah, the writing thread was absolutely kind of awful. I mean, it wouldn't be completely washed away. People would still bring it up, and it's as a frankly embarrassing display of lack of knowledge in writing, but it would be less embarrassing. And watching this new video that she made, I was reminded of that, and I just wanted to say a few things about it. You know, writing is hard. Writing is really hard. And the reason why writing is hard is because writing is easy. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but let me explain. Writing a book or a screenplay is not like actually making a movie or writing a song or making a video game, because for all these things you need other kinds of skills. For you to write songs, you need to learn musical theory or learn how to play an instrument. To make a movie, you need to know how to direct a movie, how cameras work. And to write a game, you need to know how to program, and etc, etc. To write a book, all you need is like know how to read, know how to write, and pen and paper. And because it is so easy to write a book, everyone does it, and as such the market is absolutely flooded with mediocre novels written by people who don't know what they're doing. And so for you to really stand out, you need to really put an effort. So you see, writing a book is easy. Writing a good book is really fucking hard. And I don't know why writing has the spirit that you can do absolutely everything that you want, because well, it's not like painting. There's obviously a skill ceiling for a lot of techniques that you need to learn. In writing, if you can write it, you can write it, and chances are that you know how to read and write it, you know how to write it. You know, writing is the only art form in which this kind of discussion, this kind of hand waving what you need to learn as basics is tolerated. If I were to watch a video on cooking because I want to learn how to bake a cake, and the person in this video said, well, you can just do whatever you want, doesn't matter, I would say that it's a shit video, because I don't want to do whatever I want because I don't know what I want. I'm a complete novice at cooking. I want to know how to make a good cake. I can't do things. I need you to teach me the basics. That's why I'm watching this video. With writing, that doesn't happen. People just say, well, you can just do whatever you want. And yeah, that's true, but that's not what I came in for. This writing advice thread actually has one of these as an advice says, as long as it isn't harmful or bigoted, you don't have to justify story decisions made on the basis of self-indulgence. And yeah, that's true. That is technically true. You can do whatever you want as long as you're having fun. In fact, I do expect you to have fun, because you don't want to have fun, you should go work in a bank or something to actually make money instead of writing. But here's the thing. This advice is number 93 on this list. Do you think that someone that read 93 tweets in this thread wants to hear this? That read 93 pieces of advice on writing because they want to get better? Just like, hey, just do whatever you want. They don't want that. I don't want that. And it just feels like a cop-out, you know? Well, I told you to do these things, but I told you to just follow your heart, so you can't actually blame me for telling you to do stuff that is bad. And I get it. Art is very complicated and very difficult, and the more variety, the better. I wouldn't want to be responsible for clipping the wings of young artists. You should follow your heart. That's what art is all about. I don't want to silence your perspective by doing shit advice that is going to raise your voice. That's why it takes so long for me to upload a video in this channel, because I make sure that the advice that I can give is something that I can stand by, that I can actually defend. I'm not saying that you aren't allowed to criticize me. I mean, go to the comments and write how I'm wrong. Please do. It's actually really good for my engagement. But I'm never going to make a video and then dismiss it as a joke. I'm just going to be like, I was wrong about that. I guess you're right. Or I think you're wrong and I think that I made my point. I'm never going to say, well, it's wrong, but I don't think you should care about it because it's just a joke. Because I don't think my content is that disposable. I wouldn't spend a valuable portion of my limited time on earth making 100 tweets just for them to be ignored as a joke. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, I am calling Lily out because once you cross that line, you say, well, this thing I wrote was obviously a joke, shouldn't take it seriously. It kind of puts into jeopardy everything that you do, because people have read this thread, people that were her fans, people that were following her for good or for bad, you know, some stalkers too, and they have pointed out that many of these tips are basically Lily's preferences. So there are things that have actually been extensively documented on her video archive as things that she actually believes in. So if you say that it's a joke, then do those videos count as a joke? The thing about Beauty and the Beast not being as feminist as Cinderella, it was something that was actually said on the video.
Can we stop writing sympathetic sob stories for abusers and stop writing stories that villainize abuse victims?
Is that a joke? There are two scenes from an excellent video that I want to plagiarize, reference. It's from a video from my senpai Folding Ideas. Go check it out, it's actually really good. And one thing that he says about Nostalgia Critic's video on the wall is that it's so full of irony that is unintentionally revealing. Because no one writes 100 tweets in a thread out of accident. You don't just shit this out in an afternoon. Especially because the number is 100. She obviously spent effort to try to reach that number. And just try to pretend this is all a joke. It's just kind of pathetic because it's very obviously not. And the reason why it's so revealing is something that she said in the end of her video on abuse.
And these are people who spend so much of their day desperately trying to convince others and themselves that I'm actually a terrible person who should have her good life taken away from her for reasons. Am I supposed to believe they're happier than me?
Again, I'm not going to take sides here. Maybe the stalkers are wrong, maybe she's wrong, I don't care, I don't know these people. If something bad has truly happened, I'm not the person to comment on it. But let me put it this way. What I understand is that those people are accusing Lily of being harmful. They are accusing her of harming and abusing people. They are not accusing her of being sad. And so, saying that you're really happy and the people that were in previous relationships with you are really sad is very counterproductive. I don't understand how Lily did not notice this. And she feels so obligated to maintain the maybe fantasy, maybe true reality of her having a great life that she just doesn't understand what she's even being accused of. You're not being accused of being unhappy, you're being accused of giving shit advice and for being a shit person. Whether this is true or not, I don't know, but she's not addressing this by talking about how her life is great, how her stalkers all look like this guy. So when you see this kind of thing, you have to wonder, is her life really that great? Would the person with a great life even be making this video, even be talking about how much her life is great? Wouldn't she be spending time with her gorgeous wife? And the second thing about the video that I wanted to bring up is obviously cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing. And Lily, if you're watching this, I'm just going to say this. That thing you said on your video,
give us what we want and we'll leave you alone, is a fucking abuser tactic. The problem with taking them at their word when they say that is that they don't want it to end. If they wanted it to end, they would have given up and gotten lives of their own and touched some fucking grass already.
the reason people tell you to admit stuff isn't because they want you to admit it and want an excuse to bully you, because they already have that. What happens is this: if something is happening on your writing, on your contents, and people notice this, then denying it is not going to do any favors, because people won't buy this shit. One thing that I know that I've seen people saying, oh, you should just admit it, including me by the way, it's her Pokemon fanfic webcomic in which she owns a Gardevoir and they have obvious romantic tension, like canonically they love each other. The Gardevoir is in love with her avatar and they have this fucking slow burn thing that is honestly kind of boring. They kiss and they have a mating bond and everyone's like,
Just already!
I'm not into Pokemon bestiality or anything. It's honestly kind of weird. I don't even know why I read this comic, honestly. The valuable portion of my limited time on Earth. But trying to deny it is even more pathetic. It's like, oh, because we can't do that, we can't fuck because it's against the law. Like, the only argument that you can find against bestiality is that it's illegal. And then they just keep walking around this, and we notice this. We know that you want them to fuck. We know that you want to fuck this Gardevoir. And just admit it, man. If you actually took the steps to make the story, it would be a completely different thing, but it would be more genuine, it would be less pathetic. I mean, I would have to at least applaud the courage of actually making a webcomic in which you fuck your Gardevoir, I will tell you that. Wouldn't just be a comic about some people lying around being miserable and making each other miserable. It's and when we say that you should just admit that your writing thread is genuine, what we say is trying to cover it up is even more pathetic. Stop trying to make this joke threads about writing advice. Just admit that you fucked up. Like, yeah, we will mock you even more, but it will blow away. Instead of trying to sweep it under carpet, it's just more pathetic.
Cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing.
So sorry if this sounds really rambly, but you see, the thing is that Yandere also made a video talking about his haters, and he actually spiked his Google searches and made people more aware of what he did. So I needed to rush this out because people are totally going to look up on YouTube or on Google what those stalkers are. Just trying to get those easy views, baby. So thank you for watching this video and enjoying my content so far. But before I leave, I just wanted to say something. You might have noticed that I have made another English video after my first Lily one, and that's because my first Lily video was so overwhelmingly positively received, with so much engagement, so many views, that I'm actually considering switching to an English-based channel because it might get more engagement. The problem is that most of my subscribers speak Portuguese because most of my videos are Portuguese, so I'm not sure exactly if I should do the switch permanently. If you could comment what you think, I would appreciate it. Would you watch my videos if they were in English? Do you enjoy my content so far? And if you're Brazilian, please comment if you would want to see the switch or not. Because it's completely possible that the Lily Orchard video was just a one-time thing, and it's completely possible that the writing content is not going to be as popular as that because it's not drama, it's just me talking about writing on things that I have consumed. So if you could put your feedback on the comments, I would really appreciate that. Well, see you soon.